Okay, hit the button.
If you're wondering if Hetty and I are wearing matching jumpsuits, yes, we are.
Yes, thank you for mentioning. I forced Emma. I know what's in her wardrobe.
I mean,
It's purposeful. We did it on
listen,
purpose.
if you can, why not?
Yes, exactly.
I don't know why it doesn't occur to me. I often match with my children.
Really?
But, well, yeah.
Okay.
But it doesn't often occur to me to match with my friends.
Right.
And it's so fun.
Yes. And we each have like several of these jumpsuits.
Right, yeah.
I haven't worn a jumpsuit in a long time, but today I chose this one because I saw David Byrne last week, and his outfit for this concert is entire blue from head to toe. So David Byrne is my inspiration tonight. And you, Emma.
I love it. Yeah. We're both really good dancers, me and David Byrne. Okay, well, I think wearing matching outfits is not on theme to this book, I would say. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, but I want to back up first because I want to talk about how we met, which was when we opened the bookstore. See, she doesn't even remember.
Yes, I remember.
She doesn't even remember. It was really meaningful.
I remember.
No. So when we opened the bookstore, Hetty brought us salads.
Yeah. Delivered you salads.
Yeah. And everyone, I remember Michael in particular, our former events director, I remember he was just like, it was like the nicest thing he'd ever seen. Like he was just like so gobsmacked. And we all were. And the salads were, of course, delicious. And ever since then, I'm like, oh, my friend Hetty who feeds me. And it's beautiful.
It's a power of food being delivered to you. But a salad is, I mean, it's funny because I remember I bicycled them around because I have my bike here from when I had the salad delivery business in Sydney. So I shipped it over, and I think I had this salad. I tried the salad delivery business in Brooklyn for about 6 months, and it was way too hard, so I gave it up. No one wanted to talk to me. That was the main issue. Believe me, that was the main issue. Everyone was like, leave it in the vestibule. It's like, what's a vestibule? Like, so, but I remember like that time was, it was like, I thought maybe people think this is weird, bringing salad around on a bike. But that day was I remember it really well. Yeah. I covered a lot of ground.
No, we did not think it was weird. I can't speak for anyone else, but at Bookstore Magic headquarters, we were like, oh, we like her. We like her.
Good. Yeah. And so it's like we are living proof that you make friends with salad.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's an amazing way. I do. I mean, it really is an amazing way to make friends with anyone. Okay, I want to talk about Linger because I texted this to you the other day, but I feel like you and I did something similar, which is your last book, Tenderheart, which was, I think, the first cookbook that ever made me cry. Maybe I'm not reading enough cookbooks properly, but it was, about grief.
Yeah.
And it was so beautiful and so meaningful. And Linger is also beautiful and meaningful, but in such a different direction. So I wondered if you can sort of talk about the transition from Tenderheart to Linger and sort of what made you want to move this direction? What pushed you toward this?
I mean, to be honest, with my books, it's never a conscious decision. Like, I think after To Asia with Love, I really wanted to actually just write a book about vegetables, and you will laugh, but that book was meant to be fun.
Yeah.
And meant to be lighthearted. And it's like, oh, I'm just going to write a book about vegetables because I love them so much. And then it just really turned into this whole other beast. But that's, I'm very lucky that I'm always allowed to do that when publishers kind of allow me to just, allow a story to run its course.
Yeah.
So, but that was a really hard book to write. And it's like many times I was thinking, why am I even writing about this?
Yeah.
Like I'm meant to be talking about vegetables, but for me, when I think about vegetables, I think about my dad and who passed away when I was a teenager, and kind of processing those feelings that I'd never allowed myself to feel, actually.
Yeah.
I think when you lose a parent when you're that young, I think you don't really understand.
Of course.
And you just try to like move on and just, I'm just not going to process. I'm just going to keep going. And I think that book allowed me to remember him and remember, the part he played in my life. So after that, I just thought, the transition to this book was the promotion for Tender Heart lasted so long. That book had a really long tail, and which is great.
Yeah.
Which is great.
This is a sad story. What she just, if I can translate that, what Hetty just said was this book was so successful that I had to keep promoting it for a long time because it just kept selling. Sorry, proceed.
Okay. I mean, it was just like a big book in a lot of ways, and I was, there was a lot around it, and I think that the time between Tender Heart and Linger, I felt like there was a real shift in the world. Like we were coming out of COVID, and I think the food industry has changed a lot, and so much of it is kind of online, and careers are being built online, and so I just kind of I feel like there's something, like for me personally, I was missing something. I was missing like that personal connection. I had moved during COVID, and I realized I'd never had people for lunch or dinner or any meal because we had been in this forced separation, and I was like, I need something to restart my passion for food. And I just thought, actually, in just a fleeting moment, I'm going to start inviting people over for lunch. And 3 weeks later, I did it. And I thought, I'm going to document, I'm going to make salads, because that's the meal I know how to connect with people over. And it was like the first meal was January 2023. Wow. It was 2 days before the Lunar New Year. And I kind of like used that as I made some kind of, New Year inspired dishes, but nothing is that, traditional. And it was just and I knew immediately it was an experience that I needed. It was an experience that other people needed. And so over the course of that year, I did it every month. I had friends over. The groups were always very mixed groups of friends, and people met new people, and it was just transformative for me. And, like people that shared my table, like you, shared that it was something that they really, like, they needed. So.
Oh God, yeah. Okay, but so there it is. It's January, and you have had this wonderful idea because you need it, and you know that all your friends need it too. Was that simultaneous as this is a book?
Yeah.
Like, did you knew right away?
Yeah.
I see. Yeah. You're smart.
The books kind of happen. The books, to me, it's like I'm not doing a book and then I'm doing a book, like in one instant.
Wow.
Because it's like an inspiration hits, and it's always the name of the book first.
Yeah.
The name of the book is the first thing that happens, and then, well, actually with Tender Heart, there was some discussion with my Australian publisher. There was tender in it, but I think it was tender something else. But there was that Nigel Slater book, so I couldn't call it that.
Oh.
So, and then it was Tender Heart seemed so perfect because the heart is the person.
Right.
So, but yeah, it's usually like Linger was almost immediate.
Okay, wait, I have to just spend a minute there, because to me, titles are impossible. Like titles are, I mean, I guess I always have like an idea, a working title, but they almost always change. Are you solid, like from Jump Street always when you have an idea for it? Wow. And they're just that good too. Like,
I love naming things. So if anyone ever needs anything named, let me know. I make this offer to anyone. And I love words, and like the titles to my books are fairly irregular for cookbooks.
Yeah.
And so I'm always grateful that publishers allow me to do this, because it could be called Salads for Gatherings, and I'm sure it'd be like, but like you kind of have to work harder. is Linger. So like I
Yeah.
think that for my books, I'm always asking for a little bit more. Like I say,
Yeah.
my books are a slow burn. You know, like you're not gonna. Hopefully, you're not just gonna cook one recipe. You're gonna be spending time with this
Yeah.
book and spending time with the stories if you choose to.
Yeah.
You don't have to.
Well, wait, I want to ask you about the stories because I wanted, like, I mean, I think of myself as someone who is like pretty well versed in cookbooks. Like I do, I mean, I buy them and I use them and
Yeah.
I read them.
Yeah.
But I do, I mean, to me, your books are different, like are different than most cookbooks. Like they're more, I mean, I'm going to say more personal, even though it's not like, I don't know, that makes it sound sort of like salacious or something. But I just think that you really do, I don't know, they're sort of your pieces, your like narrative pieces within all of your cookbooks are deep. Like you
Yeah.
really
Yeah.
get somewhere.
Yeah.
Is that, are there other cookbook writers who do that, who you admire, or have you always approached this as like, this is my thing?
I feel like I've been doing this a while. Like
Yeah.
I think that when I first started doing it, it was pretty unfashionable, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
I think that after I moved to the US, I had this multicultural food journal called Peddler.
Yeah.
And I think that it had a really like cult following amongst people that wanted like really personal stories about food. But that was like 2017, and it was kind of like, that was weird. Like, why would you talk about all these things, personal things and personal identity issues and all that amongst, in the context of food? But I feel like for me, it's like, because I kind of came to food in a way that was quite different. Like I'm not like a chef. I'm not trained in food. I don't have really any rules around flavor or ingredients or even how to put things together. I just kind of do what I want, like based on what I know through what I saw growing up and the flavors that I saw how my mum cooked, and so that kind of DNA is in all the food that I make, even though I did not grow up eating salads, because Chinese people don't really eat cold foods. It's seen as really bad for your body. But yeah, I didn't really eat cold foods at all growing up, but it is in like the dish of a salad, like there's my entire story in there. So for me, the most exciting thing about doing cookbook is almost not the recipes, but it's the narrative around it. You know, like the narrative is what, it's the story that I want to tell, and the recipes kind of fall into place, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about salads, Hetty.
Oh, okay, I've been waiting for this.
Early in this book, there are rules, salad rules. One of these rules is anything can be a salad. Could you please elaborate?
Well, that's kind of my approach. I think that, perhaps in Australia we have like less strict understanding of what a salad is. But when I first arrived here, people were always very shocked that like it was more than just lettuce and tomato and cucumbers. And so I think in the last decade, I've really tried to redefine what I think is a salad, which can be anything. So I think that I use a lot of dishes that I love, like a lot of comfort foods. To me, like can be a salad. I take flavors that are very familiar to people, like could be a puttanesca, that's a familiar flavor, and then I turn it into a salad. And I did that from the very beginning. So in my first book, Community, which was the book that was about my salad business, I had like a borscht-inspired salad in there. I had a laksa salad. I had a nasi goreng salad. So I was doing this from the very, like this was, 13 years ago. So it's always been my approach to salads is to take something that I like or a flavor profile that I like, or maybe something I've eaten at a restaurant, and to put it into salad form.
Is there anything, like what's an ingredient or a texture maybe that crosses the line? Like, is it a ratio of liquid. You know what I mean? Like if something moves.
Oh yeah,
You're laughing, but this is a serious question.
Yeah, no,
I
get.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
is it like if it's too much?
Yeah, I mean,
if it's a soup,
it can't be a soup.
Okay.
It can't be liquid.
Got it. Got it.
I think that mushy stuff doesn't work very well in a salad.
Got it.
So you got to be careful with mush.
Mm-hmm.
But the liquid component is your dressing or your sauce.
Right. Yeah.
And so, like in this book, there is a lot of these what I call dippy salads. So there's, you know, like a dip on the bottom or something that resembles a dip.
Oh yeah.
And then there's like elements layered on top.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like I want a lot of texture in my food, whether it's a salad or not. I'm all about texture and about building in components. And then, you know, like the dressing is the most exciting part to me.
Oh yeah.
It's like the story.
Oh yeah.
You can do.
And it's also that I feel like the dressing is where, now I'm going to sound so impressive, guys. It's where the acid comes in often, and I know you like an acid.
I like an acid. Well, acid is absolutely essential to a salad or a dressing, or you know, it's in whichever way you use it. It could be just in a tomato, for example.
Right, right.
Like there's a couple of salads in here where I've basically salted the tomato to like extract the juices, and then that is your acid component in there. So
wow,
you know, almost the tomato is your dressing.
Yeah. Oh my God, isn't she good? Okay. Okay. Oh God, there's so many questions. Okay. Oh man, in a few minutes, I'm going to open it up and.
In a few minutes, really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I don't have a walk.
I set my watch. Okay.
Everyone's spoken about fiber yet. Like,
oh God, I know.
Emma said we're going to talk about fiber.
Okay,
I don't know anything about fiber.
Okay. All right. What are some things that you either have heard or gotten feedback from that some people are afraid to put in salads that you think more people should put in salads?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't really know. Like, I've never really had people say that to me before. No. Maybe they're too scared to say it to me.
Okay. I mean, people don't say it to me either. I don't know.
What do you think?
I don't know. I mean, I personally, like, I feel like it comes down to my own phobias.
Oh, right.
You know,
which are?
What, like I feel like I don't know how to make beans. You know,
like legumes.
Yeah, like I love to eat them.
Beans. Yeah.
I love to eat them, but I feel like I'm gonna make it badly.
Yeah, I mean,
we don't have to dwell too much on my personal
honestly,
feelings.
like for home cooking weeknight, I'm just using canned beans.
Yeah,
I'm going to be like all my events that I've been doing.
Yeah,
people have been asking me like, Where, "Did you cook these beans?" I was like, "No, I used it from a can.
Yeah,
like they're the best."
Yeah. There you go.
Because I don't have 4 days to.
Yeah. Okay. Let me ask. Oh my God, there's so many questions that I want. Okay, all right.
No stress,
okay.
Emma, no stress.
Okay, so the book, you conceived of it as this chronological, year-long process. Yeah. Did that cause any problems sort of as you were going, where like you realized later in the year, oh, I should have had a XYZ salad, or were you totally faithful to the gatherings in terms of what's in the book?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So this book is written in real time. It's photographed in real time. So what you see in the book is what the guests ate. They were all photographed right before the guests arrived. And because I didn't really want to do too much shooting, like photographing when the guests were at the house. I wanted to be a participant in the lunch. And so I was completely present. So it's all in real time. So what you see is kind of exactly how it was served.
Wow.
And like when you write a book, normally it's like you go through all these stages and it's quite a lonely process writing a book. But this one was completely collaborative. Like I had people, I could kind of see straight away what people liked.
Yeah.
I still remember like who said they liked which salad. So it's really cool. And like sometimes I would tweak them a little bit, but not really, to be honest. I mean, this book is very, it feels very free to me. And that kind of goes back to your first question about kind of transitioning from Tender Heart to Linger, is I kind of allowed myself to be really just, I'm going to cook what I want to eat.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how I led with all these menus. I'm going to cook what I want to eat. I'm going to go to the market and see what I like. And I'm just going to choose some vegetables. The recipes I think are really easy, are really simple. And, you know, because a lot of the time I had to prep 8, 9 salads and a dessert. So the desserts tend to be things that can sit in the fridge overnight. And the way I cook salads is I don't, like, if you're doing a gathering, because there's 12 menus in here, so I don't expect everyone to cook the menus, but if you do want to cook the menus, almost everything can be pre-prepped.
Wow.
Like I do all my dressings. I've been doing a lot of these Linger lunches around the place. Whoever will give me a table, I do a Linger lunch. And I just prep everything. Like, so the dressings can be made ahead of time. Like, if you're cooking a grain, that can be made ahead of time. You can pre-roast all your vegetables.
Yeah.
You know, so there's I think there's a lot of practical things in this book that, because when I was making it, it also had to work for me because they were actual lunches.
Yeah.
So, and actually this book was made when I was on tour for Tender Heart. So there's some like scheduling things. So I was kind of like concurrently living in both worlds at the same time, which was actually quite cool.
Yeah.
Because this was so, I loved doing it because creatively it was so fulfilling to come up with these menus and also the essays. There's 12 essays in there and they kind of range from all sorts of topics. But that, again, I would sit down after a lunch and go, what is inspiring me right now? So the essays are almost like streams of consciousness. Yeah. And I remember thinking at the time when I was writing them, I'm going to have to say to my editors, it's a stream of consciousness. So there's probably, the grammar's probably wrong, or there's probably, like, there should be an and instead of a comma. I use a lot of commas. But I remember thinking that because they were very much just like captured in the moment. So I kind of wanted that really strong sense of place in this book. Like, that is what I'm thinking right now. This is what I'm eating right now. And this is what the light looks like in my house right now. So, yeah.
It's lovely. Okay. If anyone has questions for Hetty, please raise your hand and Amali will bring you a microphone. Thank you.
We got one starting up here. Thank you so much for this delightful conversation and for your beautiful books, Hetty. I want to build off of Emma's earlier conversation about texture and inquire as to how much time you've spent in the American Midwest experiencing the dessert salads such as the ambrosia, often involve things like marshmallows. And if you want to take it a step further, if the mid-century suspended salads set in fruit-flavored gelatin also fit your salad boat.
Yeah.
I'm just learning about these. I have not spent much time in the Midwest, but I have an intimate knowledge of ambrosia-like desserts. Care of my mother-in-law, who has sadly passed, but she made a dessert called the Heavenly Hash, and it was basically ambrosia. And yeah, I can't say it was my favorite. I think what does ambrosia have as its base? Because she used sour cream.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it depends on who's making it. Anywhere, I think from like Cool Whip to sour cream.
Oh, Cool Whip. Wow.
Is it Jell-O too?
Cool Whip probably, or like pudding.
No.
Yeah, I mean, Heavenly Hash was sour cream, I think canned mandarins.
Wow.
My husband's laughing back there. He can't believe I'm talking about this. I think like maraschino cherries.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, he's nodding. Marshmallows. But I kind of feel like maybe a good version of it. Do you think?
Yeah.
You know what I want to do right now is I've been doing these like salad cakes. I'm a little bit annoyed by salad cakes. And my friend
What's
Jessie.
a salad cake?
My friend Jessie's here. Maybe she's made she's a baker. Maybe she's made a salad cake. I think it's like a sweet cake with salad on the outside. But I'm a little bit disturbed by this concept.
But anything can be a salad. What kind of salad on the out? Like
Well, because
lettuce?
it's sweet. Yeah, like radicchio. I've seen like a radicchio one. But I want to do one that's actually got something savory on the inside so you can actually eat it and it would be a pleasant experience. Rather than eating like sweet cake with radicchio.
Right.
I can't imagine that would be good.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't want to be judgy, but
Yeah.
Like mashed potato frosting.
that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking like maybe some cheese situation, rice.
Rice cake.
Yeah.
A rice cake.
Yeah,
You just
rice
invented
cake.
rice cakes.
Yeah, I just did. New recipe, guys. It could be a collaborative recipe. What do you think?
Thank you so much for your time too, talking about how amazing salad is for gathering people and leaving things out at room temperature. That was
Yes,
great.
yes, yes.
Just curious if you could talk more about like how you put together a menu, like salad, and you're like, oh, you know, it'd be really good with that, this, or like, are you just you talked about the grocery shopping and the ingredients, but just thinking about how you balance textures and flavors across that many dishes. And what the process is like, are you writing things down? Is it in your phone? Are you whiteboarding? What's it like?
That's a great question. This book was almost completely conceived on Notes app. I use Notes app like it's my favorite.
You're so young. Look at you. Yeah.
Didn't want to give myself away, Emma. But yeah, almost completely. Like I've still got all the notes. I would have like people like maybe I should invite or like because it was very like spontaneous. So I'd be like, oh, is this person in town? I'll invite them. Or and then I would have like ideas for things to cook and so like the way I did the salads is most of the time I want a noodle salad. Like I want like a salad that feels like the big hearty dish, the showstopper kind of salad. So that could be, in one instance, it could be the roasted cauliflower, for example. And then a lot of the time I want like some sort of noodle salad with different types of noodles. And then, yeah, something lighter. I didn't think about it too much. I think most of the time these menus are very instinctive. So I had a big long list of things that I wanted to cook. I cooked most of them and I would just kind of slot them in according to what was seasonal at the time. So, I kind of always steer away from seasonal books a little bit because it's so hard because seasonal means different things depending on where you live and very quickly, like you could go to New Jersey and maybe it's a different seasonal vegetable. I don't know for sure, but that's what I think. But I feel like this book has become like quite a seasonal book, but it is written, I had to surrender to the idea because I have a big audience in Australia, I had to surrender to the idea that this is written in real time in New York City. So that is what's reflected in chapter 1, which is January, to chapter 12, which is December.
Right. So January isn't
it's not like
corn and tomatoes or whatever January in Sydney
exactly,
is.
all of that. So yeah.
I'm gonna make it over to the other side of the room. Hi.
Hello.
The reference in this question might be a bit dated now, but I'm curious, since all of your books, they have kind of elements that are nostalgic of your past, but also things in the present. Do you consider each book to be like an era of yours, or are they all in a similar
Oh,
wow, things get dated so fast now.
Yeah, they are absolutely. Yeah, that's
they are.
yeah, they are. I very much see them that way. They are very autobiographical and they kind of capture what I'm interested in at a particular time. And for me, like I feel like cookbooks should do that. They should capture what is, cool to you at that particular time. So I think that the things I wrote about in here are already dated because, I wrote about my daughter going away for college and what that would feel like. Well, now I know how that feels.
Yeah.
So, and she actually told me the other day that my recipes had too many ingredients.
Because she's in like a college
she's cooking for
dorm
herself.
kitchen or something.
So it's like, so now I have to write the 5-ingredient cookbook. Now I have to be
I
Daily Oliver.
love it.
Do you? I don't think, does anyone like that idea? I don't think so. No one likes it. So Do you like it?
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
You do? I think I have to do 8 ingredients.
Okay, it doesn't have to be
Because
5.
8 is like lucky for Chinese
Yeah,
people.
yeah,
So,
great.
yeah, 5 is a weird number to me.
Forget 5. It's
yeah,
8.
Yeah. I don't know what Jamie was on. Like 5. Everything was 5.
Got time for a couple more. Make it back over here.
Amalia's doing the laps.
Yeah.
I'm curious, like in your other answers and just like, or in all that we've heard today, there's kind of like a mention, and the book is kind of like about gathering as well. I'm wondering how like your environment or like maybe even the people that you invited over for these gatherings affected, if they affected them at all, or you were just like, I want to do this, and felt like you because I made it for them.
I mean, in terms of the feel, they're all a little bit different depending.
Or just like what you ended up making. Or
Oh,
like,
no.
If it differs kind of.
I don't care. Like, yeah. Honestly, that I don't care who's coming. I'm making what I'm making.
Yeah.
It's I don't even ask about like if you don't like anything. Like honestly, like I know that's something people ask. Is there anything you don't like? I mean, obviously allergies, but
Well,
like,
but also, I mean, as a participant, like you told your guests what you were doing,
yeah.
and so I don't know. You're not going to invite over somebody who
Doesn't
who
like
you
salad?
don't think. Well, yeah, who
I would actually love to.
who you don't think would enjoy, and I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of like this is kind of like there's not a lot of the usual formalities of dinner parties in this book. Like there's not like I didn't really curate things. Like I didn't curate guest lists.
But you have playlists.
Oh yeah. But those playlists are not done by me. They're done by my daughter.
Yeah.
And that was like a kind of cool thing that I wanted to do with her. Like originally there was another Linger playlist. So if anyone wants it, let me know. But it's like more just the stuff that I like. It's a lot of Morrissey, a lot of George Michael, a lot of New Wave, New Order, that type of stuff.
Yeah.
But I was like, I can't have every playlist sound like
Yeah.
that. So my daughter, like, she went away and she's like, this is her job to do this. And she spent a lot of time putting together these playlists. They're really cool. People are really into them.
They're good. I looked at all of
They're
them.
very like unexpected.
Yeah.
But in terms of the actual lunches, like I did not curate who would even come or what we were going to eat according to, it was just basically what I wanted to do. And people, I mean, I think you'll be surprised. Like, I think we give people too many choice, you know, like I think if you've put on something lovely, and it could be just toast, you know, it could be something way more simple than making all these salads. But I think in 2025, I don't think we extend invitations enough to people to just come to your home and, I don't know, even if it's having cake and tea, like it can be something really simple, but it's just like that humanity of thinking about someone to invite them over. I think that, you know, we don't do it enough, and I certainly didn't do it enough.
Yeah.
And I'm missing it now.
Yeah.
You know.
Linger too.
Yeah. Linger again and
Linger.
again and again.
We have time for about 2 more questions. Got a hand here.
Hi, thanks for the conversation and for your book, Hetty. You might be able to talk also during
Yes, I can tell. I was just about to say it.
I've lived here for like over 20 years now. So
Oh, wow.
Tell that I'm Australian. But I wanted to, because I have all your books and I really enjoy the recipes, and to me, they are very Australian in the sense that they're simple. And I do think we have a broader idea of perhaps what a salad is. I'm looking forward to trying the Vegemite chickpeas.
Oh yeah, that's good.
But I'm curious, I guess, what you see as sort of what's Australian and what you do, and then perhaps how living here has changed and influenced.
Yeah, it's a great
your
question.
approach.
Yeah, something I think about a lot, obviously. I think about identity and influence and, you know, like heritage, all of that very deeply in the work that I do. But I do think that recently I was in Australia actually for the Linger tour. And there was a girl she was American and she lives in Australia now, and she came up to me at the end and told me my food reminded her of home, which was the US. And I was like quite shocked because it felt like actually like a real full circle moment. Like there is it's like my influence, like my Australian influence, my Chinese influence, and then living here, it's kind of all come together now. I think there is, obviously the way I approach food is very Australian, and I know that. Like there is this, the emphasis, like a very natural, I mean, I'm Chinese, but I'm not all the Asians, you know, but the way Australian food is so Asian in the way it's approached, you know, obviously because of proximity, but, you know, all the Southeast Asian foods are so prevalent, like laksa is almost probably the meal I miss the most, but it's everywhere in Australia. And so that aspect feels very natural to me. But I think that obviously after living somewhere for 10 years, it has to affect the way I look at food. And obviously there is, you know, there's a Mexican mole in here, and it took me like 10 years to really understand how to make a mole or a vegan one. But I would never have tried that 10 years ago, you know. So there's definitely like those influences of living in the US that are slowly creeping their way into my food, but it's more flavor-wise, but I think my approach is still very like, you know, Australian. That kind of, I don't know, the Vegemite. My friend Lucas, his husband is Australian, and he said he made it with a bit of Marmite in there, and soon realised that Marmite and Vegemite are not the same thing, which they're not.
We've got our last question over here.
For the final question, I wanted to let you say what you wanted to say about fiber.
I didn't have anything to actually. This was Emma's question. I don't know what Emma wanted to say about fiber. I'm kind of curious myself.
Okay, this is selfish, and I'm sorry for ending it this way. But I feel like the way I consume the internet right now, because of certain facts about me, is that it's a lot of other middle-aged women talking into the camera, telling me I need more fiber and more protein.
Okay, yeah.
And so my question for you is, like, what in this book would satisfy like those ladies? Like the ladies with they've got weighted vests on, no? That was my question, but it was like a joke question.
Oh, okay, joke question. Okay, I'm actually seriously thinking about
please, please,
I mean, there's so much fiber in all of this stuff.
It's a
I mean,
salad.
you've eaten my food. I've forced my food on you a lot. I mean, did you mention fiber recently when you posted the Brussels sprout salad?
I don't know.
Maybe, magnesium.
Probably.
That was magnesium. Yeah.
I still don't know really what magnesium does, but I'm taking it.
Well, if you eat this, will I mean, vegetables are great for fiber.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what else to say.
And protein is beans. Beans have protein.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. There we go. We solved it.
There's protein in everything. There's protein in everything. Yeah. I mean, honestly, people like ask me this protein question a lot because I'm vegetarian. Like I'm going to get you. I'm going to ask you about protein. So first of all, you do not need to eat protein every single meal. Yeah. And actually, there's a lot of protein in vegetables. It's just not bleeding. That's the difference.
Yeah.
But if you eat like the way I kind of eat, like approach vegetarian food, which has like legumes and grains and things like quinoa. And I eat a lot of tofu. I do eat my body weight in tofu, I have to admit. Yeah. You're going to get all that stuff in there. You know, so that's my answer to that.
Thank you, Hetty. Isn't she the best?
Thank you, Emma. Thank you to everyone for coming. Can I just say, I have a guest book out the back. So this was one of the things I did not do at my lunches, and I wished I had done it, but to have a guest book. So I kicked off the guest book in Sydney when I was there on the book tour, and I said to people, you can just write your name if you want to, or write a joke, or write how you feel. And people wrote really lovely things. So now I'm taking it around. And if you feel like it, no pressure, you can sign the guest book. But it's a lovely memory for me. I'm being selfish.
Yeah.
Well, everyone, please give it up for Hetty and Emma. For sharing this conversation with us tonight. As I mentioned earlier, Hetty will be around to sign and personalize your books right up here. So we're going to ask that you all line up down my right, your left side of the room. And if you haven't gotten a copy yet, we've got plenty of additional copies of Linger, Tenderheart, and To Asia with Love. I like to say that I have a lot of cookbooks that collect dust, but all of Hetty's cookbooks collect grease and crumbs.
Yeah.
I love to hear that.
They're fantastic, so please check them out. And sign Hetty's guest book as well on your way out. Thank you all again for joining us. Let's give Hetty and Emma one more round.
Yay.